what does subside mean exactly?
What do you understand? What did the word subside suggest to you?
Hi, Michael. Nice to
Hi.
talk to you again.
Yes.
To me, it means to slow down or come to more of a stop. And maybe even relax would be another way. And so that's why I was curious what your definition of it is too, since I remember that you in one of your talks you said that that's the summary of Ramana's teachings.
Yeah, yes.
And so I thought that was pretty important to understand what you mean. Because interpretations can be so different.
Yes. That is, we need all the words of Bhagavan's teachings are pointers. But it's up to us to understand what they are pointing at. So when we first read Bhagavan's teachings, we understand a certain amount. But the more we put it into practice, the more the wording of his teaching becomes meaningful to us. So subside is, if you want me to explain it, I would say subside is the opposite of rise. When we wake up in the morning, we are rising from a state of being, a state of just being, into a state of activity. So that is the rising of ego brings about a rising of everything else, because everything else arises only in the view of ego. So our aim is, the opposite of rising is subsiding, going back down. So we can view it as subsiding as sinking back into our heart, sinking back into our own being. The words rise and subside, we also talk about a storm. A storm is rising, and then it subsides. After the storm is over, it subsides. So ego is a storm. That is, as soon as we rise as ego, we are caught up in a constant whirl of thoughts. By thoughts, I mean not just the mental chatter that's going on, but according to Bhagavan, all phenomena are thoughts. So all the perceptions, all the memories, all the feelings, all the emotions, all the likes and dislikes, these are all thoughts. They're all of a storm. There's a verse in Aksharamala where Bhagavan says, so that I protect me so that I shouldn't be like a ship tossing about in a great storm without a helmsman. So the state of samsara is a state of storm. This samsara arises when we arise as ego. It will subside when we subside. So Bhagavan's teachings are all about bringing about the subsidence of ego. Subsidence we can take settling down, sinking, ceasing. I mean, there are many words that are pointing at that, that are pointing towards that. But we have to feel it within ourselves. That these words, we, so to speak, need to go beneath the words to understand what the words actually are. If someone points at the moon, we don't look at the pointing finger. We try to look at what the finger is pointing towards. Likewise with these words, we try to get a feel of what Bhagavan is pointing at. So Bhagavan often uses words in Tamil that mean subside. He also uses other word that means sink. Sink and subside amount to more or less the same. Often the word that means sink, they're often in English books translated as dive. But I think dive is not such a, to me, dive doesn't feel so right as sinking. That is, when we attend to ourselves, we are not actively diving, but by attending to ourselves, we bring about this passive subsidence, so to speak. But it's a matter of the feel of the words. And each one of us has to feel these words for ourselves. I mean, we can give definitions, but whether the definitions actually help us to understand more, just try to put into practice attending to yourself. When we allow our attention to go outwards, it's like we get caught up in a great storm of so many thoughts, so many worries, so many preoccupations, so many anticipations and worries about the future, so many regrets about the past, so many things are going in our minds, so long as we allow it to go outwards. But to the extent to which we turn our mind back within, there is a subtle subsidence, a subtle, everything calms down, we calm down. There's a word Muruganar often uses in Guru Vachika Kovai and other places, upashantam. And just the other day, I was looking up the meaning of upashantam. Upashantam obviously means peace or pacification, but it also means the cessation. So the pacification of a storm is its cessation. So subsidence also means pacification. It also means cessation. So all these, as I say, they're all pointers, but we have to feel within ourselves what they're pointing towards.